The sniping community in Call of Duty is a very passionate bunch of people, but do they really know their COD history? Did you ever really try every single sniper, or did you just gravitate to the popular ones, the ones that were meta? Well, today we're going to take a look at 10 sniper rifles that I think were super underrated. So drop a like and let me know if you actually used any of these. And we're going to start off with one in Black Ops 2. The SVU AS from Black Ops 2. That's right, the semi-auto sniper that was unlocked by default back in the best Call of Duty multiplayer of all time, and it was widely looked down upon because it was spammy. Plus, with snipers like the DSR and the Ballista, it was kind of hard to justify taking the SVU into battle with you, but did you actually ever try it? Because it was kind of broken, busted, seriously. It had extremely low recoil, pretty solid rate of fire, so you could hit follow-up shots pretty easy, and on top of all that, it was always a one-shot kill to the head and a two-shot kill everywhere else. So with the low recoil and barely any idle sway, it was really easy to just sit back, pop people from a distance, and go about your business. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't dignified like the Ballista or the DSR, but it was actually kind of fun to use. I think people slept on it because they automatically assumed that it was a spam weapon. At number 9, the Barrett 50 cal from Modern Warfare 3. Now, it appeared in all 3 of the original Modern Warfare games, and while the first 2 versions were super popular, the Modern Warfare 3 version is often looked down upon. Now, compared to its older brothers, the MW3 Barrett was much heavier, and you really felt that if you were running around trying to play aggressively in that game. But there were also a handful of attachments and perks that completely removed the problem. It let you take advantage of the fire rate and the damage. Despite being semi-automatic, it was still a very reliable one-shot kill to the chest and above. If you were running perks like quick draw and sleight of hand, and if you were running the speed weapon proficiency, you could make it feel more like a classic Modern Warfare 2 version. I like this version of the Barrett, but I can totally see why a lot of people passed right over it, especially because it was competing with the MSR at the time. At number 8, yes, I'm going to put a Dragunov on this list. Please don't flame me. The Dragunov from Modern Warfare 3. I have a habit of crapping on this gun whenever I get the chance, but I'm going to be honest with everybody and myself and admit that the Modern Warfare 3 version of the Drag was actually not bad. Unlike other versions, this one felt more like a marksman rifle, and if you threw an ACOG on it, you could basically use it like a FAL. But unlike the FAL, it was actually a pretty reliable one-shot kill to the upper body, which made it pretty intimidating to go up against. It wasn't popular, certainly wasn't a good choice for traditional sniping, but if you were someone who liked semi-auto spam weapons and you could deal with that recoil, it was pretty good for that playstyle. Now, whenever I talk crap about the Dragunov, there's always a handful of people in the comments tell me the Modern Warfare 3 version was underrated. So, this is my olive branch to each one of you. At number 7, the L115 from Call of Duty Ghosts. There were 2 bolt-action snipers in COD Ghost, and while one of them was extremely popular and almost unanimously used by the sniping community, the other one constantly just sat in the shadows. The L115 would cost you 7 squad points. Remember those? It was actually tied for being the strongest sniper in the game in terms of damage per shot. Had a huge one-shot kill range, the accuracy was solid, so why wasn't it more popular? Well, the fire rate was crappy, 40 rounds per minute, so if you missed your first shot, you were almost certainly going to be punished for it. It also didn't have the best mobility. It didn't have the best handling speeds. It wasn't a slow weapon, but it was noticeably slower than the fan favorite USR, and for that reason, it wasn't popular. But it was still good. It deserved more love from the COD Ghost sniping community than it got. The USR may have been the better overall weapon, but that doesn't mean the L115 was worth passing over every single time. At number 6, the R700 in COD 4. This was a sniper that I think gets too much hate. The flak that the R700 gets is pretty similar to the flak that the L115 got in Ghost. I mean, if you think about it, there was only 2 bolt-action snipers in COD 4, those being the M40A3, which was iconic, and the R700, which was passed over. The M40, fast, smooth, versatile. R700, slow, heavy, bit more powerful. Basically, the M40 was good for aggressive sniping and traditional sniping, while the R700 was only good for traditional. But what's wrong with that? Nothing. May have more idle sway and recoil, but it was incredibly reliable thanks to that high damage and the generous damage multipliers on the game. Hitting someone with the R700 was almost a guaranteed kill no matter what, especially if you were running stopping power. So if you were someone who liked to sit back and play a little slower, more methodical with your sniper, it's probably a good choice. May not have been as versatile or influential as the M40A3, but I just don't think it deserved the hate that it got. At number 5, the SVG 100 in Black Ops 3. Now, Black Ops 3 had a really difficult sniping time due to the removal of aim assist, and while most players gravitated toward the Locust, the 100, it deserves more love. Here it is. Futuristic weapon, featured an awesome animation that would automatically load the next bullet for you. Compared to the Locust, it was much slower, it was much heavier, but also much stronger, which made it virtually always a one-shot kill. Now, unfortunately, the Locust was also almost always a one-shot kill. It was way faster, so people just used it instead. Maybe I just like the animation too much, but I always thought people slept on the SVG. I mean, can any other Black Ops 3 players back me up with this? At number 4, the Widowmaker in Infinite Warfare. A 2-round burst bolt action sniper. Yeah. Now, when the Infinite Warfare beta dropped, people didn't know what to do or think about the Widowmaker because it was weird. It also didn't help that the sniping in Infinite Warfare was very difficult and there really wasn't much of a sniping scene in the game at all. But, you know what? I actually liked it. Very powerful, super consistent, so even though it was almost impossible to snipe aggressively in the game, a weapon like this was actually really good for holding down objectives, especially from a distance, and that's got to be worth something. So what did you think? Why do you think the sniping community completely disappeared in Infinite Warfare? I have my own theories, but I'd love to hear yours. At number 3, the lever action in COD World War II. There were so many snipers in this game, it's hard to call any of them particularly bad, but the lever action never got as much love as it probably should have. Compared to other snipers in COD World War II, it fired a bit faster, but it also had much less consistent one-shot kill range, but it's okay. The fire rate made up for it, in my opinion. If you were aiming high, you were going to get insta-kills anyway. The lever action also had this pretty awesome firing sound, and it had some really cool animations that made you feel like a total boss going from target to target. So, with the sheer number of sniper rifles in the game, it was easy to overlook this one, but if you're still playing COD World War II for some reason, I'd give the lever action one more go. In the grand scheme of things, I call it slept on. At number 2, the EBR 800 in Infinite Warfare. I know, I already mentioned an IW gun on this list, but I think the EBR deserves a little bit of love as well. It was a sniper AR hybrid weapon, and it was actually solid in both roles, which usually doesn't happen with hybrids. The sniper mode was semi-automatic, functioned similar to the Barrett 50 cal, while the AR version had a moderate fire rate and pretty competitive time to kill. Now, I'm not really sure why Infinity Ward decided to blend a sniper and assault rifle, but that kind of versatility was pretty cool to have in your pocket. Since both versions were actually effective and viable, I thought it would have been more popular. I mean, I think this gun's lack of field usage came down to the sniping scene being basically non-existent in the game, but if the sniping had been more popular or if the game had been more popular itself, I think you would have heard more about the EBR. And at number 1 today, the Outlaw from Black Ops 4. This is the definition of a love it or hate it gun. The Outlaw had one of the fastest fire rates of any bolt-action weapon in COD history. But the trade-off was extremely small one-shot kill range. Basically, you had to hit someone in the neck or the head in order to insta-kill, and since Black Ops 4 had such dynamic gameplay that made it really hard to use, you just couldn't take the Outlaw out unless you were willing to put in the time to actually get really good with it, and that pushed a lot of people straight away, especially when they could just use the Koshka or the Paladin instead. But if you did put the time into the Outlaw, you could hit some of the most ridiculous sniper clips in COD history. The fire rate was absurd. The one-shot kill potential made it extremely deadly if you knew what you were doing. Every once in a while, I would see people arguing on Twitter over whether the Outlaw was great or awful. And I don't think the community will ever agree. But if you ask me, I think it was underrated at least. May have been super difficult to use, but it was well worth the time you put into it, and the clips people hit, just go search on YouTube, seriously. And there you have it. The most underrated snipers in COD history. Let me know one that was deserving of love that did not make the list, and I'll see you soon.